The twin suns of Ilyara glimmered like molten sapphires on the horizon, staining the crystalline spires of the royal citadel in hues of gold and violet. From her balcony high above the city, Princess Serenia Veilith, heir to the Lumian Empire, watched the skies burn with the remnants of warships returning home. Their hulls were scarred, their engines silent, and though the people below cheered the end of the century-long conflict, Serenia's chest felt hollow. The human-Lumian war had ended, suddenly without warning, just 3 days ago. The peace treaty had been signed aboard the neutral station of Orion's Gate, and the humans had withdrawn from the contested systems. The Lumian Council celebrated victory, claiming that the humans finally realized the futility of their aggression. But Serenia knew better. The humans didn't surrender out of weakness. Something or someone had convinced them to stop. And Serenia could not rest until she knew who. She turned as the sound of footsteps echoed through her private hall. General Vaylor, her father's most trusted advisor, bowed deeply. His ceremonial armor shimmered with refracted light. "Your Highness," he began, "the Council requests your presence. The emissary from Earth has arrived. He's the one who negotiated the surrender." Her pulse quickened. "The emissary? Here." Vaylor nodded. "He asked to see you personally." To the human emissary. The council chamber was an amphitheater of luminous crystal and floating glyphs. At its center stood a single figure, tall, broad-shouldered, wearing a sleek gray uniform marked with the insignia of the United Terran Fleet. His helmet was tucked beneath his arm, revealing a human face both familiar and foreign. He had short, dark hair streaked with silver, and eyes the color of burnt amber, human yet too intense, too aware. Serenia felt her breath catch. She knew those eyes. But that was impossible. "Princess Serenia Veilith," the emissary said, bowing slightly. His voice carried an undertone of quiet strength. "I am Captain Elias Ran of Earth's Diplomatic Corps. I come to offer not just peace, but understanding." For a heartbeat, the years melted away. She was no longer the Lumian princess. She was the young girl who once played among the starlit dunes of Orelise 9, befriending a stranded child from a crashed human transport ship. His name had been Eli. Could it be? Serenia's voice trembled. "Elias Wren. You negotiated the end of a war that claimed billions. Tell me, why now?" Elias looked up, meeting her gaze without flinching. "Because I remembered what we once were, before our empires told us to hate each other." The chamber fell into murmurs. Serenia froze. 3 Memories of a Forgotten World. When Serenia was only 12 cycles old, she had wandered beyond the city domes of Orelise 9, a frontier world shared uneasily by humans and Lumians. There she had found a small human boy, injured, lost, and terrified after his family's ship crashed. He had a fractured translator, but they had managed to communicate through gestures, laughter, and songs hummed under alien stars. She'd called him Eli. He'd called her Sarah. For 3 weeks they shared everything, food, stories, and dreams of peace between their worlds. And then the war broke out in earnest. Soldiers came, borders sealed, and she never saw him again. Till now. Serenia's throat tightened. "It cannot be," she whispered. "You were just a child." Elias smiled faintly. "And so were you. But I never forgot you, Sarah." The council members exchanged confused glances, whispering among themselves. "Princess," Vaylor warned softly, "be careful. Humans are deceptive by nature." Elias turned to him calmly. "If I were deceptive, General, your fleets would already be dust. I came here because I couldn't bear to see either side destroyed any longer. For the truth behind the peace. After the council adjourned, Serenia summoned Elias to her private observatory. It was a glass sphere suspended above the city's core, filled with floating holograms of galaxies. The faint hum of the power conduits underscored the silence between them. "You owe me the truth," she said at last. "How did you make your leaders surrender? The Terran command has never backed down before." Elias approached the central display and activated a projection, massive energy readings across several systems. "Because I discovered something. The war wasn't between us, not really. Both our empires were manipulated." Serenia frowned. "By whom?" He expanded the projection. A dark mass appeared near the galactic rim, a pulsing anomaly devouring nearby stars. "The anomaly of Threxia," Elias said. "Our scientists thought it was just a black hole. But it's not. It's feeding on conflict. Every battle, every death, it grows stronger. It emits waves that influence sentient thought, heightening aggression, fear, and hate." Serenia's blood ran cold. "You're saying the war was engineered?" "Not by design," Elias said, "but by influence. The closer our fleets fought near Threxia, the more irrational both sides became. My research was dismissed until I had proof that even our highest commanders were under its psychic sway." He looked at her, eyes blazing with conviction. "I risked my life to bring that data to both councils. And when I told them what I learned about you, about us, they finally listened." "About us?" she asked quietly. "That we once showed each other that peace was possible. That if a human and a Lumian child could see past the fear, then maybe our species could too." The shadows of the past. Serenia turned away, her hands trembling. "You should not have come here. The council will see you as a threat." "They already do," Elias replied softly. "But you, Sarah, you can reach them. They'll listen to you." "Because I am a symbol, not a savior," she said bitterly. "The princess who was raised on propaganda and polished lies." Elias stepped closer. "Then rewrite the story. With me." Their eyes met, human warmth and Lumian luminescence reflecting in one another. The air between them hummed, charged with memories too fragile to touch. For a fleeting second, she saw the boy who once gave her a hand-carved music box made of Terran wood. The same melody still haunted her dreams. But before she could speak, the chamber door burst open. General Vaylor stormed in, flanked by guards. "Enough," he barked. "This human's lies end here." Serenia's wings, translucent folds of living light, flared instinctively. "Stand down, General." He ignored her. "The human is a spy." His ship transmitted coordinates to the Terran fleet. Elias froze. "That's impossible." "Search him," Vaylor ordered. The guards seized Elias's communicator, scanning it. A holographic beacon flickered, indeed transmitting a signal. Elias looked shocked. "That's not mine. Someone tampered with my equipment." But Vaylor's smirk was cold. "Convenient excuse. Princess, he's betrayed us." Serenia's gaze darted between them. Her instincts screamed that something was wrong. She turned to Elias. "Tell me the truth. Did you betray us?" His voice broke. "No, Sarah. You have to believe me." For a long, agonizing moment she hesitated. Then, against every law of her empire, she said the words that changed everything. "I do." 6. The flight from the Citadel. The night erupted in chaos. Alarms blared as Serenia and Elias fled through the crystal corridors, pursued by drones and soldiers. She led him through hidden passages known only to the royal line. Explosions shook the citadel as security turrets fired behind them. Elias stumbled, clutching his wounded arm. "They've marked me as a traitor now." "So they've marked me as one too," Serenia replied grimly, helping him up. "We'll find the truth together." They escaped aboard a small skimmer, streaking through the aurora-laced atmosphere toward orbit. Behind them, the citadel burned with furious light. "Where are we going?" Elias asked. "To Threxia," Serenia said. "If your theory is true, that's where this madness began, and where it must end." 7. The heart of Threxia. Days later, their ship emerged from warp near the anomaly. The view was terrifying, a roiling vortex of shadow and light, tendrils of energy stretching across space. The sensors screamed with interference. Elias monitored the readings. "It's worse than I thought. It's alive, Serenia. It's feeding on psychic energy, on every violent impulse across both our civilizations. And if we destroy it," he hesitated, "we might destroy ourselves too. Its tendrils reach through subspace, into every mind it's touched." Serenia studied the pulsating core. "Then we don't destroy it. We disengage it from consciousness itself." "How?" She turned to him with quiet determination. "By amplifying something stronger than hate." He understood immediately. "Empathy." She nodded. "The bond we shared as children, it was pure. If we can project that wavelength, override the resonance of anger, it could collapse the anomaly's psychic field," Elias finished. "But we'd have to link our neural patterns completely." Serenia smiled sadly. "Then let's remind the stars what peace feels like." The memory bridge. They connected through the ship's neurosynchronizer, their minds intertwining across light and memory. For a moment, Elias saw through Serenia's eyes. The luminous cities, the weight of royal duty, the loneliness of power. Serenia, in turn, saw Earth's chaos. The concrete towers, the desperation of soldiers dying for flags they barely understood. And then, beyond it all, they found each other. Two children under alien skies, laughing as they built a sand tower on the dunes of Orelys 9. The memory pulsed outward like a shockwave of warmth. The anomaly screamed. The vortex flared with unbearable light, its tendrils twisting, retreating, collapsing inward. The psychic storm shattered, replaced by a stillness that stretched across galaxies. Their bond began to fade. "Sarah." Elias's voice was faint, distant. "If I don't make it, you will," she whispered. "We both will." The ship shook violently. Systems failed. In a final surge of energy, the anomaly imploded, and everything went white. 9. The dawn of peace. When Serenia opened her eyes, she was floating in a medbay, surrounded by soft light. Her body ached, but the air felt different. Calm, free of the oppressive tension that had haunted her entire life. Elias was there, sitting beside her bed. His arm in a sling but smiling faintly. "It worked," he said. "The anomaly's gone. The fleet stood down hours ago. Both councils have declared an official end to the war." Tears welled in her eyes. "We did it." He reached out, brushing a strand of her silver hair aside. "No, you did. You reminded me who I was. And you reminded me who I wanted to be." Outside the viewport, a new dawn rose over the twin suns, two civilizations reborn. Epilogue. The legacy of two worlds. Months later, on the neutral world of Orelys 9, a monument stood where two children once played. It bore no flag, no emblem, only a carving of two hands, one human and one Lumian, clasped together beneath the stars. At the dedication ceremony, Serenia stood beside Elias. The crowd, humans and Lumians alike, watched in reverent silence. "Our worlds were once bound by fear," she said, her voice echoing across the plaza. "But fear is only the shadow of understanding unspoken. Today we choose to understand." Elias took her hand. "And to remember that peace isn't the absence of war. It's the presence of compassion." They looked up as a fleet of joint vessels soared overhead, carrying the symbol of the new alliance of dawn. The past had been written in fire, but the future they knew would be written in light. And beneath those twin suns, the alien princess finally realized the human who ended the war was not a stranger, not an enemy, but her long-lost friend.